um, to a new class. Good afternoon, good morning, good day, good evening, whatever time zone you are. My name is Jameson. Today we are going to be talking about file paths. We're going to be teaching ourselves on what a file path is or what file paths are. You understand? So you might be wondering, file paths. What are file paths? Well, it's not something that is so intimidating as it seems or as it appears. It's just kind of okay. Let me say in computing or computer science, a path and a directory are related to concepts, uh, say, or refers to different aspect of a file organization within a file system. You understand? I made mention of something now, directory. I'm going to be explaining what a path is, what a path is versus a directory. You understand? Most people often confuse the two together. They are two different things. You understand? So, but let me just first of all restrict to what a path is. Let me start with what a path is, so that we go from there. So, let me read a tab path. A path describes the location of a file or directory within the file system. It represents the sequence of directories you need to traverse to reach a specific file or directory. Okay. A path can either be, we have two types of path. We have the absolute path, we have the absolute path, and we have the what? Relative path. We have the absolute part and we have the relative part. You understand? So the relative part um, is specified relative to the current working directory or another reference point. I'm going to do create an illustration to represent what I'm saying so that it will deepen our understanding of what they actually are. So let's say the relative part is specifically or is specified relative to the current working directory or another reference point. It describes the location of a file or directory relative to your current location in the file system. For example, if you're currently in the document directories and you want to refer to a file named, say, report.txt or file.txt, whatever.txt, for example, .txt is the extension, if you can remember. So in the work subdirectory, so the relative part will be what? Work slash report.txt. This is it. Let's say um, you are currently in the document directory. Let's say you are currently in a directory called document. You understand? And and you want to refer to a file named report.txt in the work subdirectory. For a directory there can be subdirectory, and of course within the subdirectory you have the file. Let's say the subdirectory is work. You understand? Let's say the subdirectory. Let's say we have the document directory. We have the document directory. We now have another directory, say work. You understand? Before we now have, say, report.txt, report.txt. You understand? So, and then we now have what? Report.txt. So, in the work subdirectory, the relative part will now be, say, within this work directory now, the relative part will now be, instead of quoting this, you won't quote this. You can now say, work, say, work slash, say, report.txt. So that is a relative part. That's how it will be. Then the absolute part in this case, an absolute part provides a kind of complete and exact location of a file or directory from the root of the file system. You know, it describes the full path starting from the root directory. For example, an absolute part for the file report.txt in the work subdirectory of the documents directory might be, say, something like uh, home, home. Say you have home user. Say you have user document. You have home user document. say, let me, I didn't put there, say document work slash report.txt. You see that in this case, we are going full. So I mean, we are starting from the very home directory down to what? So this is what absolute uh, part, and this is what relative part. So absolute part, if let me recap, an absolute part provides like the complete, an exact location of a file, you understand, or directory from the root. This is the root. The root is like, of course, from the C drive, you understand, from the root uh directory. So for example, this, you understand. So that is how, and this, of course, is on Unix system, like, you understand, a Unix system. So you understand. So on a Unix like system, or you can have, if you want to have a Windows system, let's this now. What I mean by Unix like system, wait, excuse me, let me copy, let me paste to V. This is Unix like system, Unix like system. What are Unix like system? A Unix like system, like for e.g. Mac, or let's say MacBook, or Linux. You know, understand? For example, those are Unix-like system. So then these, we now have what? You have something like, say, um, C. You understand? So the C there, this refers to a situation whereby, and of course, if you have, um, in this case, it will not be forward slash, it will be what? A backslash. It will be backslash, because it will be backslash. It will be what? A backslash. It will be backslash. And in this case, we have what? Windows system. On the wait, Windows system. On Windows system. Do you understand? On Windows system. So that is that on. So in summary, we can now say the directory is like, I don't want to talk about directory now. Now, let me illustratively explain it, all I've said, so that it will, pictures sometimes, gives a very uh, gives us a better understanding of whatever we try to depict, you know gives us a deeper understanding. So for us to have that deeper understanding, let me say, uh, uh, you can think of a path as a unique location of a directory. So let me say, we have our root here. We have our root here, root, O T. So you understand, and of course, this is a starting. This is the what? Your C drive. This is the starting point of your what? That starting point of your drive. Let's say your what? C drive. Your C drive. You understand? That's C drive. That's the root. Then let's now, we now have something like this. It comes down. Let's say we have a file here. Let's say we have a file here. Let's say we have maybe a .txt file here. I don't know what the file might be. Maybe it could be anything .txt. Then we now have, say, you have your project. Let's assume you are building a project. You have a project here, a project, a project, a project directory, for example. Inside that project directory, let's say you now have, let's say you have, I don't want to use an arrow. Let's say you have what? Index.html. You have your HTML file, index.html, for example. Now, then you now have, say, another folder, another directory. You have another directory. You now say images. You have another directory. You call it images. You now have, say, here. You now have my peak. You now say you have my peak dot. Right, maybe you have a file here. Call it my peak, my picture dot. It could be PMG or it could be, let's say, PMG. It could be PMG. It could be IMG. Whatever image file you have inside this images folder. Now, absolute file path is the file path that is relative to the root of the computer. So this is the root of the computer, the C drive. So any path that is what relative to the root of the computer is called absolute file path. You understand? So to locate my peaks here, this my picture file, you have to state, you have on Windows you have to what state each of these drive, which we explain the C dot, you understand, um a backslash home backslash user, all those things. You have to what state them. You should understand, just to get to this my pics dot png. You understand? But on Mac, you don't need to. There's nothing like C drive on Mac. You understand? It's Macintosh HD. So there's nothing like C drive on Mac. So in as much as the absolute path is useful for locating the present working directory, relative path, relative file path is more useful in web development. Say having something like this, images slash images, that is the folder, that is the directory, images slash my peak dot png. You understand? This is what is recommended, or this is what is more useful in web development. So take a look at the path structure. You will see that we are writing our code here on index.html, which is on the same hierarchical level with what images folder. You see that it is the same, is on the same hierarchical level with images folder. So the file locator will search through the image folder relatively to what relatively irrespective of the preceding what folder. It doesn't care about the preceding folder as far as this file and the folder are on the same hierarchical level. So it will now search through what the my pics in within the what within the folder. So there are, however, some special characters in parts. You understand? You have situations where we can say dot, we can say dot dot, uh, say forward slash text. Let me type them out. Let me type it out. We can have something like say, we can say something like dot dot, forward slash test dot. Let me say anything dot txt, or say, let me say um, write up, for example, write ups dot txt. Of course, you know that it's a text file. You understand? So what this means is go up a level. Shey understand? What the double dot signify is just go to folder above me and find the word txt file. Let's say here. You understand? Let's say you are here, you are somewhere here. You now say go to folder above me. You understand? Let's say you are here, you are in this html. You can say go to folder above me. One, you understand? Or sorry, you are here, you are in this uh and this side. It now means go to folder above me, which is what, one, two, and find the what, sorry, what am I saying? You are in the index.html. Then you now say .txt. You understand? You say something like, say, dash dash or dot dot slash forward, uh, write up .txt. So he's now saying go to folder above me. You are here, one folder, two folder. You understand? In the second folder, search for what, .txt. That's what it means. So that is what that side means. So that is that. So another special character is say dot. slash my pigs. Let me type that out so that you will see it very clearly. Let's say we have something like, say, um, dot slash my pig dot png. You understand? What this means is that look into the current folder, which is this. It means look into this current folder. The dot means current here. It means here. It means look into the current folder directory and find the what? New pig file. Look into here. Do you understand? Find what? New pig file. You will see that this index is HTML. Eh? You understand? You can replace these images with just dots. You understand? You can just say dot slash my pigs dot blah blah blah. She understand my pigs that instead of putting these images, you can replace these images with dot. So because index of HTML and images are on the same hierarchical level, so you are saying look into this current directory that both of you are, this current hierarchy that both of you are, and look for what? Uh my pigs dot what? PNG. You understand? So that is that. So let me now simply tell you what the current work, when they say current working directly, what current working directory means is that the folder you are working on currently, it's also known as current, um let me say working directory. Let me type it out. Working directory, working directory. It means the folder you are working on, you are currently working on. You understand? The folder you are what? Currently working on. You understand? That is what it means. Now, I want to quickly tell us what the difference between a directory and a path. You understand? A directory is different from a path. A directory, also known as a folder. So anywhere you hear directory, just know they are talking about folder. You understand? Is a container that is used to organize files and other directories. It kind of serve as a logical grouping of related files and directories. So directories can contain multiple files and subdirectory. It can contain multiple files and subdirectories. Allowing for hierarchical organization. For example, you might have a directory called document that contains subdirectory as work that I have given before, and of course personal, each containing several files. So you understand? And a path, on the other hand, describes the kind of location of a file. So when you are saying, okay, for example, uh let's say you live in a 5 bedroom flat. You understand? For example, the directory is where your bed, let's say your bedroom is the directory. You understand? That is where, you understand, you now have your toilet in it. So the path to locating your bedroom to your toilet is called, where your bedroom, your master bed, where your what toilet is. The toilet is now regarded as a file. The path to locate that place is called what? I mean, the route to locate that place is called the path. You understand? So it's called the path because you are trying to locate your toilet that is inside your what? Bedroom. So that is just that. That's just that. So a path on describes the location of a file or directory within what? A file system. It represents the sequence of directories you need to traverse. That is the route you need to pass, that you need to iterate through to reach a specific file or a directory. So a file path can either be relative or absolute, which I have explained before. Please don't get yourself confused on these things. So that is that. So I think we have concluded on the aspect of HTML, and of course we are ending it with file path because we've done. So now in our next class will now be CSS. You understand? CSS. So please stay positive and stay tuned while we start to lecture on CSS. So our CSS class I will be dropping our CSS class in the next section. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any question, you can ask me. You can drop it in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer those. And if you um, feel free to share our video, click on like button, and of course subscribe to our channel if you have not. Um, click on the notification box to remind you of subsequent videos that will be dropped. You understand? And of course, you can share. Then, and at the same time, yeah, you can message me on Discord if or Telegram if you have any issues whatsoever. Thank you very much for your time. God bless.